Hey there, it's Josh and Elizabeth from Things from Another World, also known as Tfa.com, here for this week's new releases.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year. I'm going to kick things off with Ant-Man and Wasp, number 3 of 3, written and drawn by the amazing Tim Seeley, who was at our shop last night for a signing. This was the perfect wrap-up. I mean, this is something that took me by surprise. A long-term character who's been kind of used and abused, and a new character who hasn't really come into his own yet. We got Hank Pym, we got the new Ant-Man, and this was just a fun, hilarious romp. Like, I was laughing out loud for a bunch of it, and it's got a little cameo by the Avengers, but really, like, I love the character of Hank Pym now. This last year I've really grown in affection for him, and I hope that the strides that his character has made and kind of his own, heroics that have been displayed here keep going, and I hope he keeps hanging out with Ant-Man because he was freaking funny. And Tim Seeley just really, the voice of the new Ant-Man, just spot on.
I've got Batman Beyond number 1. It was in a 4-issue miniseries, I believe, that they decided, hey, it's doing so well, we're going to bring it back for an ongoing monthly. And this sets up the whole story. It's basically Batman in the future, if you're not aware of the title or the cartoon that was back in the day. It's Batman in the future, Terry McGinnis, and Bruce Wayne is just this old kind of decrepit guy, and he's just kind of haggard, and he's kind of mentoring the new Batman. And so this kicks off the three-issue Mayhem and Madness and Mayhem story arc, and the Justice League is brought into the story, and they're kind of put at odds with Terry. So it's going to be a pretty awesome issue number 2. Issue number 1 was a good setup into the kind of the character that Terry is, and I'm looking forward to number 2.
Nice. I've got Star Trek Khan! Ruling in Hell, number 4 of 4. So I felt like number 1 was a strong start. Number 2, I wasn't really enthralled with the way Khan was like depending on Kirk to save him. I thought that was really kind of out of character. But 3 and 4 have definitely righted the ship. Like, this was great. Fabio Montevani's artwork is just like incredible, like a really good example for me of capturing people's likenesses without it being too like aggressively photorealistic. But this just brings it on home. It puts in the final steps, the rebellion against Khan, and obviously Khan crushes them, and then a nice little lead into Star Trek II Wrath of Khan at the end of this. But there's just an awesome, let me find this page, there's a great page showing the passage of time for Khan, and you just see the attention brought to his personage and his clothing. Like, they did a bang-up job. So if you haven't gotten the issues, I'm sure the trade paperback will be coming out in the next few months.
Next up I've got Ultimate Captain America number 1, and I've stayed away from the Ultimate comics a little bit just because I've kind of wanted to stay in the real Marvel universe is what I kind of consider it. But Jason Aaron is writing this one, and he's pretty big right now, and there's a reason why he's big. He's super talented, and this story is, I can't give away too much because you'll want to read it to get the reveal, but it puts Steve up against somebody who can absolutely kind of go toe-to-toe with him. So even if you're slightly interested in Captain America, even if you haven't gotten into the Ultimates yet, definitely pick up that issue because it sets up something pretty fun.
Nice. I've got Green Hornet, number 12. Now, this originally was Kevin Smith's Green Hornet. It was the adaptation of his unproduced screenplay written by Phil Hester with art by Jonathan Lau. And this is the second issue that has been since they finished his screenplay, and Phil Hester's kind of taken it on his own now. And it's pretty cool. Like, the writing is sharp. The artwork is great. It's very dynamic. I was never previously a Green Hornet fan, so this is interesting. And of course, this is different than the movie, which is going to be coming out next week. In this one, it's Britt Reed's son. He's got a female Kato. But here, they kind of address some of the things that don't really age well, like him pretending to be a bad guy. A lot of that doesn't really fly in this day and age. There's no bad guys that don't actually go around and not kill people, and they don't kill people. So they kind of evolve it in a really interesting way. But this is cool, and you'll be able to read more about this Monday the 10th. We will have an interview with Phil Hester and Jonathan Lau, and a chance to win signed comics from them.
Nice. I've got Who is Jake Ellis, #1 of 1. Here's the cover. And it's by Nathan Edmondson, who we've seen previous work in The Light from Image as well. And so, you know, having read The Light, you know that story is just really awesome. So you expect a lot coming from his next project, Who is Jake Ellis, and it's really interesting. It's an interesting concept. The main character in the book that you see first off isn't Jake Ellis, and you don't find out who Jake Ellis is exactly, but he's helping the main character out in the story, and gosh, you kind of have to read it to understand what it is. I can't really explain it. It's a fun book. I'm looking forward to, you know, getting into deeper issues. I think there's 5 issues coming out on that one, and yeah, it's kind of international espionage at the moment, so if you're into that, definitely pick it up.
Nice. I've got Walking Dead Weekly #1. If you are a fan of the show or came to the series late and want to start from the beginning but don't necessarily want to invest in trades or hardbacks, this is the perfect way. They are reissuing each issue from the beginning. Each week. And this was just awesome. Even if you have read it, it was really nice because I read it years ago and then I saw the TV show, and then reading this again after this, it really makes me appreciate this even more. Like, I loved both of them, but really the differences that are unique to a comic book experience as opposed to a television experience, and just, you know, the artwork is just like, you know, Tony Moore hasn't been with the book for a long time, so I kind of forgotten, and just his really spare style, just it suits this story so well, kind of the bleakness of it, but I was excited.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, we've got Walking Dead #80. We've been waiting for a while for this issue. It's the first one of No Way Out story arc, and it seems kind of like we are definitely building to a crescendo right now, because this sets up, you know, God knows what's going to be happening with our heroes. A dangerous
situation.
Everybody's getting guns. The zombies are like around. There's a herd around the village.
Yes.
And yeah, we see some death in this issue, and yeah, some interesting developments with Carl as well. So,
absolutely. Yeah. And if you've read the series at all, you know nobody's safe. But it's been a while since, like, a big character has died. It's been a while since someone we really care about has died. So I'm kind of like,
yeah, it's probably about time for somebody.
I know, but I don't want it to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's pretty much it for this week's new releases. Go ahead and hit the red Arriving This Week button at the top of TFA. And then if you're on YouTube, go ahead and click the link below, and then you'll find all of these, plus dozens of other great new releases this week.
Absolutely. All right, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Bye.